Hi, everyone. It's Jill Rothstein, author of the Heaven Sent series. Thank you for joining my show, Three Questions With. I am so excited. Today, I have fellow author Brandy Cagle on the show. So welcome to the show, Brandy.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited to chat with you about everything author, everything publishing, everything writing. But before we get started, tell us a little bit about your book.
Well, it is coming out finally October 26th, which is a week from Tuesday.
Woo!
And I actually got my first copy here.
Beautiful.
So just to hold this beauty is like, even though there wasn't some issues with it, it's still okay. It's my baby. So, but yes, very, very excited. Very excited. It's been a long time coming, and it's finally here.
Tell the audience about the book, the genre, what it's about.
It is a dark paranormal urban fantasy. There is a little bit of humor. We have some horror. We have suspense. There's just a little bit of everything in it. It is a roller coaster from the beginning all the way to the end. And the best part is the lovely cliffhanger at the end. It is something that no one sees coming. It's the twist at the end is bittersweet. A lot of people are like, OMG, did not see that coming. So, but it's from the nightmares I was having in my head. So I started writing them down and talked to my sister, and she said, write the book you wanted to write. Well, here it is. I have written it, and it's actually going to be a series.
That's awesome. So what did it feel like, since we were just talking about that? What did it feel like when you finally had it in your hands? It
still doesn't feel real. It's like I'm still asleep. I haven't woken up yet. It just doesn't seem real. I guess started this in March of 2019, and I just didn't think that it would ever, this would ever happen. And here we are finally, after all this time.
Yes. And that's
it's been a lot of hurdles, but we have overcome them.
Well, sometimes those are the things that you learn the biggest lessons in, the things that don't go right, the things that go poorly, that's where you really have all the learning, right? If everything was just easy, it wouldn't be the same. You wouldn't have learned the same things, and you wouldn't have the same voice. So it all has good in the end, even though it doesn't feel that way during the moment. So let's get to your question. So I'm so excited to talk to you about this. So the first one is, what are your favorite authors, or who are your favorite authors, and why?
Well, that would be Karen Marie Moning, Sarah J. Maas, and Jennifer L. Armentrout. Those are probably my top three. And probably because they write what I write, what I like to read. And they just have a really great series. But right now, the From Blood and Ash series is my obsession right now. Shadow in the Ember is coming out. I'm supposed to get it in the mail one day, I think Monday or Tuesday. So I'm excited about that. But the best part is also listening to the series on the audio version. Stina Nilsson, the narrator, she is phenomenal. She is narrating my book.
Oh, that's amazing.
It is so good. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I mean that's a big deal. That was a big land. That's very exciting.
Yes.
And what was that experience like, having to, production and arranging that, and how much did you have to do with the audiobook?
We pretty much gave them the script, and she ran with it. And now it's just making sure that words were pronounced right and things like that. But nothing really major. It's been very, very easy. They are super, super nice over there, and Get Back With You. They have been really great. And she is super nice, and she has done such a wonderful job with it. I even listen to it at night now when I go to sleep. I can't stop listening to it. I'm in the car listening to it. I'm at work listening to it on break. So it's just awesome. I love it.
That must be a really almost surreal experience to have your own story, your own words read back to you. It's sort of similar to like walking somewhere and seeing someone holding your book or reading your book. I mean, that has to be a little out of body type experience.
Yes, I actually even got a video sent from one of the ARC readers, and she was just like, I am screaming. It is so good. I'm like, that is awesome. Yeah. And then she replies back, I'm only on page 104. I'm like, and you're already screaming. You're really going to be screaming when you get to the end.
Yeah. 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 I mean, that's very, amazing. Very that's exciting. Great. And you have a ton of reviews out on Goodreads, favorable reviews out on Goodreads. So I hope everyone who's watching will go check those out and go out and get this into your TBR for when it launches next week. So tell the audience, what do you want people to know about you?
Well, not just that, I'm a writer. I'm also a person. Well, of course, I have a pretty crazy imagination, but I'm also a mother. I have a son in the military. He's in the Army, military police. So I'm very proud of him. Yep. I have a daughter she's a senior in high school now, and she's looking at colleges now. That is kind of scary, but and of course, my wife, and I work a full-time job. I'm a daytime vampire during the day. So, but I have a life other than writing. But of course, do I want this to be my full-time job? Of course I do. Of course I do. But I also love to go out with my family. Our thing to do when we're get away is to ride our razors. That's something that we do. We love to go out and ride the trails.
Yep.
That's probably our favorite thing to do, or go to car shows, the muscle car shows and things like that.
Oh,
that's great. What we like to do.
What did your daughter read the story? Is your daughter's age your demographic? Like, is that your audience that you're going after, that age group?
Actually, 17 and up can probably read it, but do I want my daughter to? No. It's a little awkward. But she does have a pretty good imagination. She's actually given me quite a few stories herself, that she's come up with. And I'm like, only one at a time. I can't do that many. But yeah, she's got a pretty good imagination herself.
So she hasn't read it, or has she read it and she just hasn't told you?
She's read parts of it because she's stood over me behind me when I'm writing. She's seen a lot of it, and she's actually heard me listening to some of it, but some parts, no, we leave those out.
What about your husband? What about your husband? Did your husband read it?
He has not read it, but he actually was checking out my reviews. I was on the computer the other night, and he was like, what? And I said, yeah. He goes, okay. He goes, maybe I might take back what I said, because he didn't think that he was going to do anything. I'm like, well, I'm hoping to rub that in your face.
It is a strange thing, when you enter into this. It does, so you don't think about that aspect of it before you publish. Like, okay, friends, family, coworkers, other people are going to know you wrote this book, and they're going to go out and they may read it, or read the reviews, or go check out your website or something. And it's definitely a different side of you than you're showing to the rest of the world most of the time. So that can be a little bit eye-opening. You don't think about that ahead of time. You're sort of just like, I'm doing my own thing. Like, I'm doing this for me. Like, and then you're like, wait a minute, these people are going to read it and comment. And so you put yourself in the arena. It definitely is a different space.
Yes. Seeing people that I haven't seen in a while, and they find out that you're writing a book, and it's like, oh, I'm going to get that. I'm going to read this. I'm like, just don't think anything different about me. I'm still the same person. I'm not really crazy. But because it is a little on, some of it is on the darker side. So that's why I say that.
Yeah. I guess that that probably happens more to fantasy authors, right? Than if you had written like a love story or a mystery or something. When you're a fantasy author, it really does show the imagination. You do have to have sort of that wild imagination to be writing something in the paranormal elements. So, but that's so exciting. I'm so happy for you. Is there anything, was it hard reading the comments? Have you gotten any sort of negative reviews or?
I haven't really gotten anything like super negative that has upset me. I mean, I've gotten like the review itself was good, but I think I've gotten like three stars.
Mm-hmm.
But the review itself was really good, so I couldn't understand the 3 stars, but hey, it's okay. But I think I've gotten like four stars, and the rest are 5 stars. So
yeah,
I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
I'm okay with that.
Even the 3
stars. And just
sometimes I think
just the reactions that I'm getting back on Instagram is just great.
Yeah, and I think sometimes the 3 stars, when the review is good, is more like somebody who never gives a 5, right? So really to them that's a 4. So sometimes you come across that. So if the review is good, I mean, I'm with you. I wouldn't think very much of it. But was that hard to read the first one? Were you sort of on the edge of your seat?
When I see a new one, I'm always like, okay, please be good, please be good. but I mean, I think probably there's been a few people that wished it was in first person versus third person. And I agree completely, but when you're not a writer, you're just a reader, you don't understand why sometimes you can't do something in first person. And there's a lot of scenes where you cannot do it in first person. And so hopefully they, will understand that, but sometimes you just can't.
Yeah. And now, is this a pretty large cast of characters that you have in the book?
Yeah, there's quite a few. So I have the main characters, Kira and Kat, which they're Kira's the main, and Kat's her roommate. And then we have the 3 main witches. We have 4 warlocks, which Blake is the main character there. And of course, the 2 boyfriends of Kat and Kira. And then there's some other friends. So yeah, there's quite a few characters in there.
So that would explain the not first person, because you can't really get these other points of view in there if you're doing, at least not as well, if you're doing first person in a big cast. So that's exciting. So that means there's lots of people to be intrigued by in the book. So that's great. What are you reading now, other than your own book?
Well, I have actually been trying to read a little bit of different things when I have a chance, but the last book I read was the latest Sarah J. Maas book, A Court of Silver Flames, but I have been reading Blood and Silver by Ryan O'Hara. I've been reading, arc reading some of that when I can. Of course, he knows that I'm busy. I can't just get it done right away. But I have a pile.
I know. Yeah, I'm the same.
But between work and trying to get mine done is not a whole lot of reading. Mostly listening. So.
Yeah, well, you can in the car, which is great.
Yes,
the audiobook stuff. So I saw your Instagram page. I saw some of the things out there. It seems like you're enjoying some of the marketing of this, introducing people to these characters and putting some of this marketing out. So how has that been? Have you involved in that, or is that, does your publisher really more take over that?
I actually did all that. The last probably 3 posts with the ARC readers and the little short video, the publisher has actually stepped in and done that in the marketing, and they're going to start running Amazon ads. But most everything else on Instagram was me. Just like probably the last 3 posts were by them.
Yeah,
and it's actually gotten a lot of action. So
yeah, which is great. All of those do really, really well when you're out on social media. It's grabs people's attention more than just a photograph or without the blurbs. You've got some blurbs out there, so people should definitely go out and check it out. And how are you getting ready for launch week? Because this is a big deal. Launch week is, it's here in front of you. So how are you getting ready for launch week?
I'm freaking out.
It's so funny because before you give the answer, you're so calm. You're like, it's like, okay, here's the answer. And then it's just like, I'm freaking out. Is that what people expect you to say?
Well, I'm excited because it's finally here, but I'm terrified all at the same time. But I really don't know. I really don't. I've never done this before, so I don't know.
Oh, well, I'm excited.
I have no answer for
that you're interviewing with me ahead of launch week. So you get to put the video out there. It's, having done it, it's such a surreal experience. You're like, I can't believe I'm sitting here and it's like here and it's out. And then you're checking how it's doing. And then everyone's sort of contacting you because all your circle knows that this is here. And, and so it's take the time to try to be present, because there's only ever one launch for your first book, right? It's like you're going to go on and have this amazing career and have all these other books and become sort of an expert at it, but you'll only have this opportunity to do it this one time. But hopefully you have.
Oh, now I'm really scared I'm going to mess it.
No, you're going to. There's nothing to mess up. It's more just taking it all in, right? Like it's more just absorbing it all, because it is a lot of there's a lot going on that you're trying to keep up with social media, and then you're trying to check how everything's doing, and then
working full time.
Yeah, are you taking the day off?
No, I can't. That would be nice.
I think that's going to be even worse.
Well, my manager did. My manager did. She was very nice. She actually got in touch with the hospital, the marketer for the hospital system, and she actually is she's going to contact me, I guess, do something, send out an email or something about it. But I don't know exactly what they're going to do. But I thought that was pretty nice.
Yes.
And
nice.
But I did go to my 30-year high school reunion, and a lot of people found out about it, and they were like, "What?" So
were you a writer in high school? Were you a writer in high school? Like, have you always been a writer and someone who loved it?
I actually wrote a short story in the 4th grade, and it was for 4th, 5th, and 6th grade. And no, it's 3rd, 4th, and 5th, excuse me. But mine won over the whole school. But my grandmother, she and we used to write poems and things like that. And that's kind of where I got it. I started writing poems and little short stories, but I only shared them, with friends and family. But when 2019 rolled around, with I talked to my sister, and that's kind of where it come from. So I just started writing, and I'll have enough for a short story. Never thought I'd have a whole book, much less a series to follow. So I've just found that's just something I really enjoy, and I love it.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it.
I think it's always with you, right? But it's finally when you tap into it, you sort of let it come out, and then you have this experience, and now you're here and you're in the arena, and you're going to stay and you're going to do amazing things. And that's super exciting. I know recently I had an amazing experience where I went into, it's a retail chain up here in New England that has my first book. And I went in and I was with my sister. And so we went in and I was like, oh my God, there it is. And we're like both looking at it like weirdos in the store, like staring at it. And so my adult niece was with us. She's like, you have to go over, take the picture. So I did the whole thing, came back over. The store manager lady comes over and she's like looking at us. I'm like, oh, I'm the author. I'm sorry if we're being weird. Like, oh, no, you should do that. And we laughed and we went to lunch, and my sister's like, that was really weird. It was like real. It was like, there it was on a shelf in a store. And I was like, I know, like it's strange. Like sometimes it takes a lot to get through that this is it. It's in your hand. It's a real book. Like people are buying it. People are reviewing it. People, so it's
that's awesome to see your book in a store. That's great.
Yes,
that is great. That's amazing.
Yours is gonna get there. Don't give up. It takes a little bit. It takes a lot of hard work and a lot of rejection along the way, but you'll get there. You just got to keep at it. But Yeah, all these little things that happen to you on this author journey, it's also strange sometimes. Like you think this isn't real, but then it is real. It's, it's happening. So it's great that you have this journey with your sister as well, who is the one who is telling you to go ahead and write the book. So that's fantastic. Is she going to be around on launch day? Is she on pins and needles as well?
Well, unfortunately, they're going to California. They go every year. They live there for a few years, and they're going for Halloween, taking the kids to, I guess they go every year for trick or treat. So it's going to be weird, her being away and not here, but we are going to be keeping in communication. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
But now my other sister is in Tennessee, where I'm from. So
yeah,
she's there with my mom.
That's great. This will be a whole family friends thing. It'll be such a special day. And I'm so excited you stopped by to chat with me for a little bit about it ahead of time. So where can people buy the book?
Well, sorry, I'm getting tongue-tied here. It is on Amazon. You can pre-order the ebook now. The paperback, of course, will be available October 26th to order. And it will also be in hardback cover as well. And then the audio version, narrated by Stina Nelson.
That's fantastic. That's right. I think if there are audio listeners out there, they're going to be excited about that.
Yes, she is. She is so good. She is so good.
Well, that is a very special experience that you got to have. I know that some people, I haven't done anything in the audio world, so that's something I haven't moved over to take a look at yet. But that is great that you were able to do that and have all those options for readers out there.
I emailed her out of the blue. I never thought that she would, reply back to a nobody. Yep. I'm a nobody. And when she did, I was like, oh my gosh, she did. It's like, and here we are. Like, I'm still shocked at this. I'm still shocked.
Well, it's all about to be very real, Brandy. It's all about to be very real on Tuesday. And that's what we want. And we hope everyone goes out and participates and checks with you and checks out your social media and goes and buys the book. And we hope you hit number 1. We'll be rooting for you. I'll be paying attention. I'll be retweeting whatever is out there. If I can get away for a few minutes at work, I will definitely help you out on Tuesday. And I hope everyone watches the video and spreads it around. I think I may have lost you there for a second. Well, we are going to wish you the best, and I'm going to go ahead and say goodnight to everyone who's watching, and thanks for joining 3 Questions With.